Okay, so last week we gone through the import wizard, data loader.
Jitterbit.
Hello?
Yeah, go
Data,
ahead.
yeah, data.com is removed from the Salesforce, like no more topic, I believe. So yeah, you won't get any exam question, nothing. Generally, data.com is the one of the platform where you will get the sample data. I will just show it to you quickly. So I'm not sure whether it's enabled in developer org. Let's check that. That's what I think data.com. Yeah, over here. So basically, it's a separate licenses. So it's available on all Salesforce org. Basically, automations purchased because it's a developer org. We purchased it. Now, what is the main benefit of data.com means? You guys like remember like if you are running a company, you need a database. So let's say like you need a list of students, or maybe like you need a list of maybe like college students, or if you want to employee informations. So there are like a third-party providers. They may provide your data, right? So they have a bulk of data, and you can purchase the data from them. Especially in India, I think like a Sleka.com, or there are like some providers. They are selling the data basically. The same way, Salesforce also selling the data using the data.com. That is their own data and their marketing data basically. So who are all registered in Salesforce interested, and then those data they collected and they are providing data.com. So basically they have their own database with updated information, latest updated informations. So as a company, what you can do, you can go on the purchase, like you, let's say like you need a maybe a 50,000 prospect or 20,000 prospect. So you can purchase from the Salesforce with the data.com. So here you can map the fields. So this is the data.com field, and the data.com field will be mapped into account, contacts, and leads. So yeah, these are all, you can go and map it. So these are all the database fields, and the database fields will be mapped into a Salesforce object, account object, contact object, lead objects. We cannot map into a custom objects. It's mapped by default only on standard objects. Now, basically in order to use it, so what you need to do, you have to create a users. So we have like at the moment 2 licenses. We can use the 2 licenses. And how do you want, like the button will be added automatically. So do you want to enable the duplicate preferences? So we can enable it, but let it be at the moment. So to see the data.com, there will be a one separate tab. Let me check that. Still they maybe removed it because yeah. Give me a 1 minute. Let me go for my users. They said 2 licenses. Yes. Assign to 0. Let me assign to myself. System administrator. Edit. So you'll have a data.com users. Okay. So the license type, yeah, default 300, organization limit 600 at the moment. So just assign this. Okay. Now as soon as if you assigned, now if we go back to the data.com, it's basically one of the Salesforce product. So you'll see in a number of license 2, assigned 1. Because of the developer org, monthly we can export 300 developer org, basically 300 company into in our developer org. Now I will show you that. Once if we assigned it, you will get a tab. There is a one tab called the data.com. Maybe like I will jump into the classic. There will be a data.com tab. Yeah, you'll see here. Now what you can do, you can search for a company. Maybe like, yeah, let's search for Salesforce. Because this is the developer arc, they have a sample data. So only once if you purchased it, yes, you can go and check the companies, and definitely like you can add into in your Salesforce. Now, if I search for a company and there are navigations here, find a contact, find an account. So now if on the account, if I search for TCS, no, they are not giving like a real-time information. Maybe if I look for India, okay, country, states, if you want drop down, like you can put it and look for maybe, yeah, so company name or website. I don't think so they do. How, like they won't give you like on the free versions. Let's say, yeah, no. And maybe like, yeah, data.com industry category. So on computer, healthcare, within the healthcare, like what are the domain you are searching it. Yeah, just put like any of the selections and narrow down your search. No. So maybe like AB, yes, no companies. Because it's a, I'm going to remove the industries. So just clear all, done. So now search for it. See, now you'll get a company basically. But again, why they are giving a Salesforce means at the moment in the template, like a database, they do have only Salesforce. Like they don't give you like any other database until you go and pay for it. You need to purchase the data.com licenses, then you can get like all the companies. Because of the data privacy policy, they are not exposing like the data by default in the developer sandbox. So now once if you find the company, what you can do, simply select. But at the moment they will restrict the control, I'm sure, but let's see. So after selecting the company, let's say like you can select how many record, 25 record I selected. See, total record is selected, we can export it. But now we cannot export it because they are giving options, but let's see. Export all 25. Maybe like previously they put a restriction, now, yeah. So you exported it, you can view the exported records. Let's go for it. Yes, got it. So download. See here, all the details of the Salesforce company. And you can see like a data.com when they last updated it. But if you purchased it, you will get the live data, the real-time data, you will get it if you purchase the data.com product. Now I will go back again, data.com product. Okay, select it. So here you can add Salesforce as well. You want to add a 145 company, you can select all 145 company. and simply add it to in your Salesforce account. So now all this company will be added into in your Salesforce account. So there are some issue. 130 record, you added 132 records out of 145. We could not add a 13 account because there are duplicate records. There is a duplicate on the records. So go to account tabs and you will see. Now you can see all the accounts with the billing city, different billing city. See, all Salesforce company, but with a different country. So with the details. Yeah, so like that, you can same way if you want to export the contact. So find a contact, John. I think only Salesforce it will give data. So okay. So who are all working in the Salesforce? Again, maybe like it will be dummy data. It's not the real data. See here, record selected 25. Now you can add the data into Salesforce as a lead or as a contact. And related to which account? So Salesforce account. Yeah, there are multiple. Which one you want to select? So see here, go to that account. Under that, all the contact get added. Yeah, so now if you go for a detail, you can see the basic details. So that is the benefit of having a data.com. So basically the data.com will give you the facility, and also the data, if there is a changes in the database, you will automatically get updated information, the live informations, because that is Salesforce responsibility to maintain the live updated informations. That's what we are paying for a amount. So there is a monthly cost for that as well, because they are giving the live data, real-time data. So if you would like to purchase the data, definitely yes, your company want maybe like on a specific country, you need like some kind of data, like for a lead management or prospect management, you need some data. You can go and purchase it from Salesforce itself. Okay, so that's all for the data.com. Then the next one is mass transfer the record. Okay, what is mean by mass transfer record? Any idea? Anyone? Hello?
What was the question again? Something?
Mass transfer record. What is mean by mass transfer generally?
Mass transfer. Oh, it's like a bunch of records transferring at the same time, not just like the single record or something.
So basically, you can transfer the record between the users. You remember, like we have an employee. Yeah, so we have a customer. Within that customer, so if I click on the customer tab, we have a lot of customers. Yeah. Now the owner of the customer is, let's say at the moment, Dana. Now I would like to transfer that user, this user, to different persons. So how can I transfer it? Hello? I would like to transfer the this particular record from one user to another users. So how can I transfer it?
You mean like assigning this record to a different user, basically?
No, I want to transfer this ownership from one user to another users.
So, I mean, in my real-time project, I could see that, we are using the change owner process on the case records,
Okay.
where,
How, how we are changing it?
there is like a change owner button on each case, we can go and do that.
Yeah.
or else I'm assuming like through the data loader process we can do that too. Or...
So generally, if you use that button, what will happen? So here, like we can add the ownership. See here, if I click on this, there is a, I can transfer like this user to another user, like a change owner. This can be done via button also. We have to add a button over here to do that. Otherwise, here itself, like you see here, I can do the change owner. Now what we are doing in this, basically we are updating one user to another user, right? Now that user will have a control to this record basically now. So previously it was Dana. Now the record is transferred to Sambat. So Sambat will have a full control on this record basically now. So what we are trying to achieve here, we are changing the owner ID from one user to another users, right? So either you can use the button. Let me put it, okay. So the first step is which is the easiest step. So using change owner button or owner field. Okay, what else? Hello. Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, we are there. So,
Yeah, you guys are so silent.
That means we don't know something. That's all.
At least come up with some, yeah, some. See, already we discussed this topic, right? So now,
so
what we
like
are trying to achieve? See, if you are trying to transfer the one user to another user, so what we are doing basically in database level, what we are doing?
Maybe in the data loader you can upsert
Signing rule.
or insert.
we can export the records and change this owner field in the data loader CSV file and import them.
That's true. So that's what I was expecting. So basically, using the data loader, change the owner ID. So if you change the owner ID from one user to another user, and then you need to re-upload it, right? So it will change automatically the ownership. At what time we go for a data loader? Basically, you can go for like if there are more record, you can go for it. The data loader will support for any records, a number of records basically. And also through list view, you can update it. So let's say I'm in this list view. Where is the owner ID field? So add a owner ID field over here. I think owner full name we added it, I think. Yeah. So let's look for it. Okay, put a filter conditions, add a filter. Record type is equal to employed customers. But still, like, yeah. So some of the fields can be updatable, but this is a formula field, I think, like we cannot change it. So general lookup field you can add it, but formula field we cannot. So now if you see email field, I can update it. So you can select the record, you can do mass update, but the ownership cannot be done using list views. So the only way you have to use the data loader. So what else we can do? What are the other ways? So as an administrator, we have another options. So if I go for a mass data loader, mass transfer. So here, there are two options. Inside the data, there are mass transfer the approval request and mass transfer the record. So now if I click on the mass transfer approval request, so we will go through the approval request bits later stage. So generally approval process means what? So if the sales manager requesting some discount, like maybe customer asking for a more discount, sales manager, he cannot provide that kind of discount. Then he need to send a request to his manager to approve it. So those kind of approval setup, we can do it in Salesforce. Even like we put a employee approval process, right? sorry, customer approval process. Did we put it? No, not it. Okay, so what we can do, once the customer is created in Salesforce, we can go and create an approval process. So the customer has to be approved by maybe finance team or any other team, like it depends on the company policies. We can create an approval process. So once if we create an approval process, that approval record can be transferred from one user to another user. Now let's say all the customer creation goes to one user. He is in vacations. Then who will approve that? So as an administrator, he need to transfer those approval requests from that user to another users. So during the time, we will go and use this tool, mass transfer approval request. And there is another one more options, mass transfer record. See here, all custom object will support, but in standard object, few standard object, not all the standard objects. So if you want to transfer mass transfer from one user to another users, so if you go for a customer, transfer customers from my name to maybe like, yeah, if I want to transfer to Bhaskar. See, I can see these many record associated with my, I am the owner. Now I am going to transfer like this 5 record to Bhaskar. So simply transfer. Yeah, now these 5 record, like not this, like the 5 record is transferred to Bhaskar. So he is the owner of those records now. You may get a one question on the mass transfer. Now if I go for an account, whenever if I do the mass transfer from one user to another user, see here, this is the exam question basically. So when you transfer the account record from one user to another user, what are the possible options available? Transfer, open opportunity not owned by the existing account owner. So basically, on that particular account, there are like open opportunities. Opportunity means like it's another one more record which is associated to account, because company can have a multiple opportunities. So one company can have a multiple opportunity. So you can transfer the open opportunity not owned by existing account owner. Then transfer the closed opportunity. Transfer open cases owned by existing account owner. Transfer closed cases. They may give like a lot of other options. So transfer open opportunity, transfer closed opportunity, transfer open activity, transfer completed activity, like that. So you need to choose maybe 2 answers or 3 answers out of that. So these are on exam questions. But if it's a custom object, straightforward. But for standard object, because account is the parent and conduct and activity and opportunity, these are all associated to an account. Now, once if we transfer the ownership, what else you can transfer along with the account? So you can transfer open and closed opportunity and open and closed case. That's it. Nothing else. We cannot transfer the K activities and other stuff. Yeah.
Have a question, Sampath.
Yeah.
If the case or opportunity is already closed, is there a need to transfer them?
But again, if they want to see the existing cases, let's say like you assigned a company. Now I need to know what are their existing activity. I want to see their existing closed cases, open cases, right? So I'm talking to one company. I need to know what is their existing transactions basically.
Okay.
So how many cases raised, how many opportunity they given. So that is the main reason the Salesforce provide these are all the options. But if you are doing it like this one using data loader, it's more complex. So instead of that, we can rely on this tool. So simply transfer the ownership.
Okay.
Okay, so that's all for the mass transfer record. I'll say using mass transfer link and mass transfer approval request. The approval request I will show you like after creating the approval process. Okay, so these are all the ways you can transfer the data from one user to another users. Okay, the next one is packing up data with a weekly export. This is also one of the Salesforce question. I'm sure like you will get these 2 questions on the data management. Okay. What are the ways you can export the data from Salesforce? What are the ways you can take a backup data from Salesforce? At least, can you give me this one, backing up the data? Hello? So what are the ways you can take the backing up the data from Salesforce? Quickly. We have 5 more minutes. Let's finish the topic.
Is it for all the objects, custom and standard, or?
It depends on the requirement. That is a good question, basically. So if interviewer, like if they ask a question, so you have to ask. So is it like all the object, or do we need to export like a specific data, specific object? That is another question you need to ask the interviewer if they ask a question like a high level. So they say like, okay, I need like all the data from Salesforce to be backed. All the object data need to be backed up. What will do?
I'm making a guess, going to the each object, and there will be an option to export all the data that is listed under the object.
Where is an option? Have you seen export option in this object? If you want to export all the customers, how will export?
So on the right side, the icon, there is something is there, disabled.
No. So you can export the data using data loader, or you can use the Jitterbit or any other third-party tool to export the data, or you can use the CLI to export the data. CLI is basically command line interface. This is again for developers. You can schedule it here. So on a specific time, the data will be exported automatically from the Salesforce and put it into third-party systems. Or on third-party tool, same way here also, third-party tool also you can schedule it. On the data loader, now you have to export it manually. Okay, again, at a time only one object you can export, not all the object, right? So if so if you have 100 object, you have to use 100 times to export it, right? Which is ridiculous. So to avoid this, Salesforce offering another one more option, you can use report also. Salesforce standard report. Salesforce export through report.
The reports can be used for both standard and custom.
Yes, yes. You can create like a standard object and custom objects, and then you can export the data. Okay. The best option is that Salesforce offering the export functionality. Let me show you that. Now, if I go for export, see here, data export.
Yeah.
On the data, we have a data exports. So yeah, this options. See here, data exports let you prepare a copy of all your data in salesforce.com. From this page, you can start export process manually or schedule it run automatically. So this is the standard tool provided by Salesforce. Yeah. So the export files also available with on this page for 48 hours, after which time they are, after that it will be deleted basically. So now if you want to export now, or you want to schedule the export. Now if I click on this scheduled export, first let's,
this data export will be available for all users, or is
no, only admin.
Okay.
All user, no, we cannot give like all user until like if they have an administrator or delegated administrator. Yeah, mainly for administrator.
I mean, my question is, even for an admin, this is not based on the license, right? Because for your user right now, you have that data.com license assigned.
No. That is different. Data.com is totally different. Now, forget about the data.com topic. That is done.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah. This is just an administrator. As an administrator, you can perform this action. So this is because you can export all the object data. See, in Salesforce, you have all the standard object, custom objects. So using this data export, you include all data, or if you want to include only specific object, you can include that. And do you want to include images, attachments, CRM content associated all these record? Yes. Or generally include all data. Then once if you click on the start export, it will export all the object CSV files. So each object you will have a CSV files. If there is a data, it will be a CSV file. If there is no data, it won't give any CSV files. Even if there is a one record, CSV file contain one record with all the fields. Yeah, that is the benefit of export data services. Now, if you click on the export now button, it will export all the data now itself. Schedule export. There is an option like you can schedule the export. So at the moment in data developer org, you can export the data monthly. But where in case of enterprise editions or like any other editions, professional edition or enterprise editions, you can export the data weekly basis or monthly basis. But in developer org, because we have a developer editions, we can export the data on monthly basis, not weekly basis. Okay, but where in case of the enterprise editions, yes, you can export the data on weekly basis. So first